Hello and welcome to Trish channel. Hope you're doing okay. Now, as you know, I reacted to a camping channel, Kent Survival, and I wanted to share with you another one I like, which is basically called Simon Bloke in the Woods, which is simplistic, as a name. And so in this one, he doesn't do outlandish ideas like Kent Survival does, like the Lego bricks and that, but he does bushcraft, etc. You know what I mean? So in this one, it's Festive Winter Wonderland Camp in canvas tent, hot tent, and wood stove, one pan Christmas dinner. So I presume he recorded this around Christmas time, last Christmas. But anyway, so yeah, just like itchy foot, just like Kent Survival. He's a channel that he's another good channel that I watch, and yeah, so I thought I want to share it with you. And also, as always, I'll put the details below in the description below. Okay, so let's see. So let's go and see what Simon is doing in the woods today. Let's do this. Yeah, just like oh yeah, I forgot to say, and just like Andy, he's got good vibes, really good vibes. I'll see this wire on first, doesn't get away. Got my brew. Oh. Hopefully you talked to this one, because a lot of the first ones, the early ones, especially the Kent Survival, they didn't talk. So when you go back and visit them, you're like, "What's up? What's with the silence?" You know what I mean? Hot tents are so cool. They look expensive, but they're really cool. You got like chimney. You can put a chimney and all kinds of stuff in it. Plumbing.
Hi folks and welcome back.
Hey.
It's that time of year again when the silly hats come out. I'm out in a local woodland for my Christmas camp this year. I've got my hot tent, I've got some festive grub to cook up later on. Should be really good.
These things are so cool as well. It's like you've got the chimney. Obviously, that is because you see the chimney. You know, I mean, it all comes, compressed together. So you can just like unfold it all. You know what I mean? They do come in bigger sizes.
Well, I'm all set up and cosy, or at least I will be when I light that stove. There's loads of room in here. I shoved my bed away at the back. I've got an insulated sleeping pad and a 3-season sleeping bag on top of that, so I'll be lovely and warm in there even when the stove cools down overnight. It dropped down below freezing last night, so there may be a chance of a cold one again tonight. And I've got my chair in there, and there's plenty of room to, to work and to sit and relax and store all my wood and everything like that. So yeah, tons and tons of room. Wood-wise, I've brought wood with me. This is only a small woodland, and I camp here quite a lot, and I don't want to strip the place completely of all firewood. So I've started bringing wood with me to, bulk out what I do use or what I do take from the woodland. So I'll probably cut a couple of pieces from what's here, and that will just add to the pile, and I can split things down just to make sure it's all the right size to go in my wood burner. So I'll do that shortly, and then
that's what I like about him and Ken Survival and a couple of other channels I watched, is they're so respectful. Because I only found it recently. Excuse me. When I was a kid going on to being a teenager, it's like you could literally. You didn't need permission or whatever to go up in the woods and camp. You know what I mean? As far as I was aware of, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these laws now are to do with environmental and also because of forest fires. But because people were irresponsible and ruin it for everyone else, it's kind of like they brought out these laws. So it's like there's loads of places you can't camp. I mean, there's a forest up where I live, and you can't camp there, which sucks. You know what I mean? Unless of course there is a caveat where you could, whoever protects that land ask permission. I don't know, but I seriously doubt it because it's protected. And that's the thing, you see a lot of them are now being declared protected, which is a shame. But at the same time, it's to stop idiots from ruining it. Although to be fair, I did know someone who was homeless who did live up in the forest because they know how to go. But the area around it is stealth camping. But just be wary, to accept the consequences if you get caught. But yeah, it's because a lot of places now it's like, especially if a farmland owns a forest, if there's a forest on land, you may be able to camp there. But you can ask them for permission at least. But it's mental these days because of the environmental part's not mental. I can understand that, but it's like because other people cause fires and ruin it, ruin the forest, etc., and disrespectful, and have no, regard, as it were. They've got laws now where it's like you can't camp. It's like in Scotland, apparently you can camp it. If you're up in the hills, you can camp. You don't need permission. But down here, because we're fucking idiots, we can't just go up to the woods and camp. In America, you can go up to the woods and fucking camp. I suppose there's still certain areas of that woodland that has peculiar laws. I don't know if there's a particular set of trees that are protected by the National Reserve or whatever, the forest rangers or whatever. You know what I mean? But still, in America, you can go camp anywhere you like. Scotland, you can sort of camp wherever you like. I'm not sure about coming from Wales, you can. I don't really live in Wales. But still, it's just mental, isn't it?
Yeah, I can get the kettle on for a cup of tea.
Because Andy owns his, from Kent Survival, he owns his own forest, but a lot of places you see these guys go into, stealth camping, yeah, they probably sneak in and do a bit of sneaking, but if they do big productions like this, or big tents or proper camps like this, then the chances are, I'm guaranteed, they ask the person's permission. But it just goes to show, because people go on about especially in your own country, people go on about this, this is our country, blah, 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 blah. And it just goes to show how much it isn't your country, because it's like you can't just go and put up a tent willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Down the beach, if you've got a beach tent, obviously you can put a beach tent up during the day, but you can't camp overnight, if that makes sense. But you know, there's ones that just got no door on, they just block out the sun. You can put them up, yeah. You can put beach tents up whilst you're down the beach, but you're not allowed to camp overnight. Unless, of course, you go somewhere that's not got people and use again, stealth camping. But it's like, but it's funny. It's like, okay, if we do own this so-called country or this land or whatever, then I dare you just go up. I don't dare you. Don't blame me. No, don't do it. But you know what I mean? Just try and go camping anywhere that's protected. No, well, not that's protected, but just go anywhere that's to camp, and you'll find you'll get in trouble because literally most of the forests now are protected. You know what I mean? You can't go on. You just can't camp on it, unless, of course, again, I suppose if you ask permission. In other words, it's not as a free country as you think because things are protected by law. You know what I mean? Including the forest that technically we don't own. The thing is, another way to put it is which makes more sense. So you can see where I personally come from with things. It's like, it's funny because we don't own this land. We don't own this planet. We just live on it, sort of thing. You know, and it's a bit. I find it peculiar. It's good that people protect in the forest, but I think it's peculiar that you can't just go up and camp in a forest. It's like, well, no one owns the fucking land. Not even animals on it own. It's like, that's the other thing. I was like, not even animals on the land own it. Nothing owns that land. It's part of the planet. You know, it's weird, isn't it? But it's good that people protect the forest, though. You know? If I'm making any sense, but yes, definitely not free country. Oh, yeah, sorry, to add more to make sense of that as well, as what I say, it's not necessarily free countries, because when you start going down the rabbit hole of like, oh, you can't camp in woods anymore, you can't do this, it's like all these things that you find, you know, these things you bump into just looking into the mundane things that are suddenly now got restrictions on you, like, what the fuck? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, so I'm just thinking it's a bit. I just find it bizarre. You know what I mean? So long as you're respectful and don't set forest fires, etc., I don't think the wood cares that you're there. You know what I mean? The wood will be there when you're gone. It's like, you know what I mean? So cool. Yeah, because some of the ones that Andy's got, this guy does these sort of tents, and he does like vintage tents. He likes the vintage ones. Some of the ones that Andy does is like big ones where you've got like a porch and stuff. It looks really cool. I'll try and find one and react to it. Oh, there's another channel as well I want to show you. It's Mark. I think it's MD. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It's called MD something or other. But his channel's good as well. He's got his own brand of coffee as well, because he drinks coffee a lot when he goes camping, but he's got his own brand of coffee now. So yeah, I'll try and share one of those with you as well. He's good. He's got his channel's good as well. Ooh.
It's it's certainly warm in here. I knew it would be. So I've unzipped one of the zips on it. It's kind of a shelter of two halves, you know, a tent of two halves. So you can use the halves independently or zip them together into a tent. And yeah, so I've just undone one of the panels just to get a bit of air in here. It's not really cold enough for hot tenting, but it is nice. It's nice to have that that warmth in here, and it just dries everything out. The ground is really damp. Everything's really damp at the moment. So yeah, the wood burner just, it's a nice dry heat. Yeah, very nice. And obviously I'll use it for cooking later on. I'll put my fairy lights up, so I'll turn them on in a bit once it gets a bit darker, and it can twinkle away and look all nice and Christmassy before I get stuck into making dinner.
So cool. Makes you look good camping again, doesn't it?
Right, I'm going to be doing a sort of one pot Christmas fry up. I suppose is the best way to describe it. I've got some cubed turkey thigh here, and I've got cocktail sausages and bacon lardons, and I'm going to fry them up with some carrots and some good old Brussels sprouts. It's not Christmas without them. I've got some potatoes, tinned ones. They're just peeled, tinned new potatoes because they're much nicer than real ones, and they're cooked, so it's much easier. And I've got some cranberries that I'm going to make a nice gravy. Must remember to save some of the wine for the gravy. I'm going to start with the carrots and sprouts. I want to get them on to boil, soften them up before I get everything else on, because they'll take ages to cook if I'm just frying them. So I'm going to give them a head start, get them on, and then we'll get everything cooked up, see how it comes out.
So I can't get over how cool that is. It's just like, so wicked. Thing is, these tents are bloody expensive though. I mean, if you had a large enough tent, I don't know. It's best don't take my advice for it. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know. I don't know much about it, sort of thing. But always Google it. But I was just thinking, if you're someone who can't afford a hot tent, if you got like a big like 6-person tent, I suppose because what Andy does. Actually, I suppose it might work. I don't know. But I said, just research it, see if it's all right. The reason why I think it might work is because if you've got, say, an air vent, or if you don't mind making a hole in your family-sized tent for a stove, what Andy tends to do, he'll cut a hole for the chimney to go through, and inside the hole he'll put round it, or stick on it, a material, like a heat-proof, fire-proof material around it, so it, you know what I mean, so it doesn't heat up, sort of thing. If it does touch it, if that makes sense, like a fire-protecting material and a heat protective. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And he'll put it through that way like that. And I was thinking, if you couldn't afford a hot tent like that, because these are about, 200 plus thereabouts. You might have got one for 150. I don't know. Still less expensive. But if you're someone who can't afford it, and you've got a 4 to 5-person tent or whatever, any kind of tent, if you long as you've got the room, I suppose, it might be worth investigating that. The only thing is you have to figure out a way to do it without so that the rain doesn't come in. So obviously you don't want a big gaping hole, that's what she said. But you want, enough to get the chimney through, if it makes sense, with the material. But like I said, just don't take what I said as an idea without researching first. But I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work if Annie can do it with like random ideas like inflatable tents, stuff like that. Or tents he's made out of plastic and stuff.
One with the cranberries. I've never had a fresh cranberry until the other day. And yeah, they definitely need cooking. I'm going to use the veg water to make my gravy. I'm just going to put half a half a stock pot in there.
Only problem watching this video, I think is also problem watching these videos is they make you feel hungry. But I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it, but for years I didn't have Spam. And because Andy, because I think he did it last video, didn't he? Cooked the one we reacted to. Andy did some Spam, didn't he? It was one I was watching, because I sometimes rewatch some of his old videos. But anyway, that's right. On these videos with Simon and the other channel, Mark, and Andy, it's like all these channels, it's like when they do Spam and that, I was like, oh, maybe I want Spam, so I then purchased some to fry it instead of bacon for a change. And I was like, brilliant. It's like it got me eating Spam again.
The wine's taking effect.
Thing is, I don't always do it as well, because it's actually cheaper to buy bacon, because Spam's so bloody expensive. It's silly, really. More expensive it used to be. I think it's like £3.50 a tin or something stupid.
A little bit of wine, some gravy powder. Disto best, of course. go. Well, I don't know what we're going to call this. Christmas hash, Christmas dog dinner, I don't know, but whatever it is, it deserves thick gravy, a spoon, and more wine. Oh yes. Do you know what? That taste of Christmas. Cheers. Well, dinner was gorgeous. Really enjoyed it. I've done all my washing up. Managed to clean my frying pan by deglazing it on top of the stove with some water. Came up a treat, and everything is just drying underneath the stove where it's warm. So that's all good.
It's funny, just by looking from where he sat, it didn't look like there's much room in it, but it's quite a fair bit, because like behind him is where he can lay down, you know what I mean?
Doors all done. It's definitely getting chillier sitting here by the open segment of the tent. You can feel the cold from the outside, and obviously the heat from in here is fighting with that cold from the outside. So I think probably what I'm going to do is zip this up now, and I'll open the tent door again just to get a bit of temperature control. I can bring the fairy lights inside and adorn them around the tent and make it look festive inside. Luxury.
I love that you can get slippers for camping. That's brilliant. Nice.
Just being treated to a free firework display going off behind me over there. Must be in one of the nearby villages, perhaps, I don't know, late 5th of November, very late. Early New Year's, I don't know. But still, pretty cool. Well, that's the last of the wine, which probably means it's bedtime. I've been sat here listening to a pair of owls. One of them was in this woodland, and I think it's flown off. It seems a bit further away now. And another one was quite a long way off, and they were just calling to each other. And yeah, it's just been lovely to listen to them. They've both got similar calls, but also quite different. You know, they've got just a different sort of sound. Yeah, nice to hear. Really nice to hear. The soundtrack of the woodland. Oh, there it is again. yeah, it's been a nice evening. I've enjoyed myself. It's been cosy and warm in this tent. I've now zipped it all up. I've zipped up the main door as well, and it's really nice and cosy. Lovely. Just totally comfortable, like being in your living room at home. Yeah, a bit of wine, some amazing food. That Christmas, whatever you want to call it, was absolutely delicious. Yeah, gravy over the top. It just had all the flavours of Christmas. It was spot on. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that would save an awful lot of aggro and electricity on Christmas Day. Although you might need a slightly bigger pan if you had family over for Christmas, that's for sure. But it was good. I was, yeah, pleasantly surprised with how it came out. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm going to finish this last drop of wine off and then get myself off to bed. I'm going to stock the stove up. Going to just get in as much wood as I can, my bigger pieces, and close it all right down and see how long it lasts. I'll probably only get a couple of hours out of it. I should think it's, you know, it does burn through fairly quick, but if I close it all down, close the baffle down, and close the little air vent on the front of the stove down, then it might just sort of smoulder away and give off heat for a while, which would be good. Although, you know, my sleeping bag's going to be plenty warm enough. It's kind of 0, -1 rated, and I think probably it will drop to just below freezing tonight, so I should be warm enough in my sleeping bag, that's for sure. Yeah, time for bed, I think. Good night, folks. I'll see you in the morning.
Obviously, he's got what Andy's got as well, which is always important to have if you're hot tenting or got some gas, some sort of burning stove, as a carbon monoxide detector. But if you can afford one of these stoves, etc., pretty sure you can afford a carbon monoxide thing. I probably couldn't afford one of those stoves, so I'm not particularly worried about hot tenting.
Morning, folks. Had a reasonable night's sleep. I did wake up a few times cold. The tent heater didn't stay hot or warm for that long. I don't know what time it was when I first woke up, chilly, but yeah, I had to do the hood up tight, just leave a little tiny hole about this big, so that I could.
Don't get me wrong, he does have them, but it's like, but sometimes he'll usually bring, and plus Andy was, well, they all do have, like, they might sometimes bring us a winter sleeping bag, if it makes sense, thermal sleeping bag, just in case. But
breathe through it, and that was all right then. Yeah. Got up this morning. It's a little bit overcast, a bit cloudy, chilly. So I've got the stove lit. Had a cup of coffee, and I'm now just cooking up some breakfast. I've got my bacon and onions just cooking down, and I'll add my eggs. Looking forward to that. Well, my omelette turned into scrambled eggs. Oh well, can't win them all. It's stuck to the pan. And I've got my kettle
still gonna be flavour though.
Straight back on for another cup of coffee. There we go, that'll do nicely.
There is quite a few videos where they will do more than one night. That's me all packed up and tidied away and ready to head off back home. It's been a really nice camp. It's got me feeling really festive. Definitely looking forward to Christmas. Really comfortable evening in my new hot tent. Very nice. And the bonus is I haven't got a fire to deal with this morning. I haven't got to cool things down, literally just let it burn out, wait for the coals to cool a little bit, and
tip the ash out. Yeah, much quicker, much easier, and all in all, just very comfortable and nice. I'm going to be having a little break from filming. I feel like I need to recharge my batteries a little bit, and I've got a massive list of jobs to do around the house, and I just want to spend a bit of time with family. So I shall be back in the spring. I've got lots of exciting plans for next year, so bear with me. I'll be back.
You also did one where the other hiatus he did. Is it Antarctica? He went somewhere like that, which is epic. To do with some old whaling station that used to be there, some sort of project over there he did work on. He couldn't talk much about it, but yeah, that sounds epic. I mean, so yeah.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Well, there you have it. That's Simon Bloke of the Woods. Yeah, I mean, go check it out. It's a really good channel. Like I said, makes you want to go camping again, doesn't it? So yeah, I thought I wanted to share that channel with you, and yeah, and there's another one as well I want to share with you as well. So we'll get around to that. For those of you who like the paranormal reactions, don't worry, I'm still doing those, but I like to mix it up, and I like to help out channels that I love, as well. So and plus, I think you would love them as well. You know what I mean? So I like to introduce you to them. So anyway, with all that said and done, thanks for taking the time to sit through this and enjoy watching with me. And if you're new to the channel, then please do subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps me out. But also, most importantly of all, it'd be great to have you with us. So until next time, take care and be well.